Yellowstone Supervolcano Geysers and what they are made of. What exactly they're made of. Yellowstone Caldera Chronicles weekly column written by scientist collaborator of Yellowstone Volcano Observatory. This week's contribution is from Dakota Churchill, physical scientist with the U.S. Geological Survey. One of the most enticing attractions for visitors arriving in Yellowstone National Park every year is the park's iconic geysers. About half of all geysers in the world are in Yellowstone. Actually, 60%, it's more than half. As scientists, we are interested in understanding how geysers work for a variety of reasons. They are used as safe, small-scale models for volcanoes. And by understanding the process that controls geyser eruptions in Yellowstone, we improve not only our understanding of volcano and geyser dynamics, but of geothermal systems elsewhere. Previous editions of Yellowstone Caldera Chronicles have addressed many related topics, such as why geysers are rare and what causes them to erupt, in addition to their plumbing systems and water chemistry. In addition to understanding how they work, we also want to understand what they're made of. One reason being that by characterizing the composition of deposits formed by the geyser eruptions, we can obtain a better understanding of when and how ore deposits, such as gold, are concentrated. And so today we shed light on what makes the geyser cones. Now, the gold and other mining elements associated with hot springs, according to USGS, and geysers of Yellowstone National Park, supplemented with data from Steamboat Geyser in Nevada. There's a PDF on that if you want to see that, but it's on the link below. Now, first, a brief overview on how geysers form. It begins with groundwater flowing through the rhyolite rocks. The rhyolitic rocks are lava that characteristically is light in color, contains 69 or more % of silica, and is rich in potassium and sodium. Low silica rhyolite contains 67 to 74% silica, and high silicic rhyolite contains 75 to 80% silica. Rhyolitic lavas are viscous and tend to form thick, blocky lava flows or steep-sided piles of lava called lava domes. Rhyolite magmas tend to erupt explosively, commonly also producing abundant ash and pumice. So rhyolite is heavy and sticky and explosive. These rhyolitic rocks mainly consist of silica, SiO2, and are heated by the deep magma body beneath Yellowstone caldera. The magma is the molten rock underneath the surface of the earth. As hot groundwater flows through the rhyolitic rocks, which are, as we said, dense, it dissolves parts of the rock. The amount of silica that the groundwater can dissolve depends on several parameters, but mainly on the temperature. At high temperatures, groundwater dissolves more silica from the rock than it could if it was at a lower temperature, obviously. And when this water reaches the surface and erupts as a geyser, the silica-rich waters cool to the surrounding temperature and evaporate. So silica is left behind and forms a deposit of sinter, also known as geyserite. Sinter is the siliceous sinter, lightweight, porous, opaline variety of silica that is white or nearly white and deposited as an incrustation by precipitation from the waters of the geysers and hot springs. That's why a lot of these geyser fields that we have, the basins, we see that it's white all around the geysers, and we think it's snow, but it's not snow. It's actually the material that's coming out being spewed out by the water of the geysers. Now, when geyserite first deposited, it's composed of non-crystalline opal A, with an A standing for amorphous, and through 10% of its weight is due to water. Roughly 10% is water, so they're water-bearing opals. Opal A is the same type of opal commonly thought of when one pictures opal gems. although the opal A deposited by geysers does not appear iridescent like the gem variety. One intriguing aspect of sinter is that its mineralogy changes with time. Sinter matures progressively from opal A to opal AC to opal ACT, opal CT, opal CT and quartz, and finally quartz, with the C standing for the mineral cristobalite and T standing for the mineral tridymite. So, and finally quartz. Isn't that something? I didn't know that that's how quartz is made. Now, opal A, cristobalite, tridymite, and quartz are all polymorphs of each other, meaning they have the same mineral composition. SiO2, however, the way their atoms are arranged is distinct. Cristobalite, tridymite, and quartz are all crystalline minerals, meaning their atoms are organized in a definite pattern, a defined pattern. In contrast, amorphous opal A is not crystalline and therefore has no long-range order. Because there is a natural preference for order as time passes, small patches of SiO2 within the body of opal A will organize themselves into a crystalline structure, forming cristobalite, that's opal AC, and tridymite, opal ACT, and these patches grow and continue to mature, forming quartz. I didn't even know that's how quartz is made. So all this quartz that we have all over the world basically is from old volcanic geyser eruptions, like the water coming out being spewed from the earth. This is what we were reading in the Genesis chapter, in the flood. Not the flood. Yes, a flood. The water being opened from the earth and then also coming from the heavens. So the water coming from the earth was almost probably also, of course, geysers. But that's amazing. So it turns into quartz. Okay. Until the sinter loses all amorphous content and reaches full crystallinity, opal CT or opal CT and quartz. Further, as the sinter transitions from amorphous opal A into its crystalline polymorphs, water is squeezed out of the mineral's crystal structure. And so by the time sinter becomes fully quartz, its water content decreases almost to 0%. So as time goes on and quartz is formed, the water is squeezed out from the formation of the crystal quartz. Now, another important aspect of the formation of silica sinter is the interaction between the precipitation of SiO2 and the microbial mats that grow on these hydrothermal deposits. The microbial mats can be seen as colorful layers of organic material, often coating the sinter. The microbial communities actually promote sinter deposition from groundwater that reaches the surface. As silica is constantly being deposited on the mats, the microbial mats eventually become silicified and can even eventually form up to 50% of the sinter's volume. Understanding the mineralogy of sinter and how and why it changes with time is important for a variety of reasons. For one, since the maturation from opal A to quartz has been studied and documented in various geysers around the world, mineralogy can provide relative ages for the deposits, which improves our ability to interpret geyser growth over time. Furthermore, when the hot water underground is dissolving the silica from the rocks, it's also dissolving other elements as well. These elements can either get stuck in the sinter or be lost with the water. By analyzing the chemical composition of the geyser sinter and water, we can learn about the conditions in which groundwater and rocks are interacting in Yellowstone's subsurface. Geysers are also economically valuable to society because hydrothermal systems are the sites of many ore deposits. Finally, as a siliceous sinter forms, organic material can get trapped between its layers. Because the organic material originates from plants and microbes that grew over time and under a variety of environmental conditions, sinter deposits contain climate records stretching back to when glaciers covered Yellowstone. By combining all these insights, these stunning natural phenomena can be used to tell the story of hydrothermal history of an area. I can't even believe what we learned today concerning opals and quartz. I mean, this is amazing. This is just amazing. Okay. Opals, I love opals. I just love opals. They're so beautiful. Very mysterious. Okay, so this is on Caldera Chronicles. And this opal A, that these sinters that are around the geysers of Yellowstone, they will at one point in I don't know how many millions of years become opals and quartz once the water is squeezed out of them. This is on Yellowstone Caldera Chronicles. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.